Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can get the best home loan with the right lender. So if this applies to you, if you were shopping for a mortgage right now, or maybe you'd be shopping for a mortgage and you are looking for the right lender, you got to pay close attention and watch this video till the very end to avoid missing out on what I'm about to say. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 7 key questions, the 7 major questions that you need to be asking lenders to ensure that you do not get cheated, to make sure that you land the best mortgage for your needs. Right? So, in this industry, in the mortgage industry, people tend to get, what they ask for. And really, it happens because there's so much competition right now. There's so much lenders out there. And the question is, how exactly can you tell who is who, or how exactly can you tell that what the lender is offering is the best product for you? So that's what we're going to be talking about here. So stay with me till the very end of this video, because these key questions that I'm giving you, I'm also going to be giving you the expected responses. What exactly will be preferred answers to these questions when it comes to what you need to be asking your lender. But first and foremost, let's talk about why this is important. Why should you ask? It's simple. It's as simple as ask and you shall receive, right? If you do not ask, you are not going to get satisfaction or clarity when it comes to the mortgage process. So the key thing here is you need to ask. You basically have to open your mouth and ask to find out if this lender is offering what fits your need. So let's jump into the very first question that you need to be asking. Number 1, you need to ask the lender, which mortgage programs do you offer? It's as simple as that, right? So you need to know, the reason why this is important is you need to know what fits your personal situation and what fits your financial profile. So this really matters, because when you don't ask what programs they offer, you wouldn't know what's best for you. And that's, the expectation here is that a good lender should be able to list out the types of programs. If it's a first-time home buyer program, no down payment program, they should be able to list out what type of programs they offer and which ones you can take advantage of. So that's the very first thing you need to ask, right? So number two is, stay with me. Number 2 is, what is my minimum down payment? So what is the minimum required down payment? Right? So the reason why you're asking this question is so you can plan accordingly. You can budget yourself. You don't want to go over your limits. You don't want to stretch yourself beyond what you can afford, or beyond what you're ready for, or beyond your financial capacity. And ideally, a good lender should be able to let you know right there, hey, this is what you qualify for. This is what you should be bringing to the table, or this is the required down payment. It could be 3%, it could be 5%, and they should be able to let you know what the PMI is going to be with a good fit estimate. But really, this is very important. This is really for you to plan accordingly and make sure that you are not broke after purchasing the home. So next up here, number 3 is still very important. Number 3 is, what is your origination fee? So let me explain this. Origination fee simply is the charge that the lenders basically hit you with to begin the loan, to start the loan process. So this is an upfront fee. You're going to pay this with the closing cost. This is not something you pay on a monthly basis. So you really want to know how much this is. Typically, you want to stay under 1%, at or under 1% on average. If it gets over 1.5%, that's really not where you may have to find another lender. So this is very important because this will add to your closing costs, which we'll talk about here briefly. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is, what are the mortgage closing costs? A lot of people think, oh, the buck ends with the down payment. No, this is not the case. Your down payment is what you need to bring, but there are other hidden fees. And sometimes, depending on how much money you are putting down for the loan, the down payment could even, the closing costs could even be more than the down payment. So for instance, let's say you are offer the first-time home buyer program with a 0% down payment. You may be thinking to yourself, wow, this is very good. I don't have to bring anything to the closing table, or I'm just good to go. No, you got to find out what exactly is covered in the mortgage cost, and different lenders have different mortgage costs, and you're going to see that here in a second. So this list right here gives you a snapshot of the types of fees to expect included in your mortgage cost. And the very first one here will be the application fee, and you have the origination fee, which we talked about, right? So these charges, these fees add to what you will need to cough up, or the money you have to bring to the closing table. And this is where you want to talk to the lender. This is where you really want to negotiate and get some clarity on what that lender is charging you. You may be asking for the lender to lower their fees if these fees come out pretty high when you're comparing lenders. But the pest inspection fee is something you got to ask the lender. You got to ask, hey, am I paying that, or are you paying that? Typically, the buyer pays the pest inspection fee, but some lenders may offer this as well. It just depends. You gotta ask. Then you have things like the survey fee. This may not be applicable in every state, but these are some costs that you will likely have to pay, but you gotta ask your lender who pays for what. And then you have the title insurance services. Is the seller paying for that? Are you paying for that? Is the lender paying for that? These are the questions you gotta ask the lender when it comes to your closing costs. I hope that makes sense. So next up here is number 5. So number 5 is also very important. I mean, this may be the most important one, right? Because this will impact you for the life of the loan. And this is what is my expected or my estimated mortgage interest. So when it comes to your mortgage interest, there's something that I call, or that is called or known as the monthly payment rate. That's what most people focus on, and this is the monthly interest rate or the mortgage rate. And this, the lender may say, hey, I'm offering you 5%, 4%, 3%, whatever. You really want to understand what that rate is, because this rate will determine how much interest you pay on a monthly basis. But aside from the monthly payment rate, you also want to know the APR, which is the annual percentage rate. Now this matters because let's just say you have 2 different lenders offering you the same monthly payment rate. Let's say they offer you a mortgage payment at 4%, but one lender has an APR, annual percentage rate, of 5%, and the other lender has one at 5.25%. Chances are, ideally, you want to go with the lender that's offering you the lower payment, assuming every other thing checks out. The lower APR, the 5% rate. Now, there are certain situations where you may have to go with the higher APR, and ideally, I would say if you intend to stay in the home for as long as possible, for many years, throughout the life of the loan, if you intend to stay in that home for that long, then you may have to consider the higher APR if other concessions are given to you by this lender. But the APR is very important, so is your monthly payment rate. Okay, now that you know that you have to ask about the payment rate, let's talk about the next important thing. This is mortgage points. So you want to ask for mortgage point charges. This is also called discount points. So some lenders will quote you a monthly payment rate or an interest rate, a mortgage rate with points. So typically 1 point basically accounts for 0.25%. And this is something that you want to get clarity on, because sometimes lenders tack this on thinking that you wouldn't know. And what happens here is they offer you a lower payment rate with you buying down the points. So you're pretty much bringing more money to the closing table because you have a lower interest rate that the lender gave you without telling you that. So you gotta look at, this is typically something that most people miss. So this is why you're watching this video right now. And if you're asking your lender this question, they'll know for sure that you know what you were doing, and they will not try to, basically, screw you. Let's put it that way. So you wanna know what your mortgage points are. And like I said, 1% or one point typically mainly equates to 0.25%. So that's what you want to make sure you are asking, so you get clarity on what exactly is included in your mortgage rate. Last but not the least is watch this one out. This is your mortgage rate lock, right? So this is something that most people still do not understand. When it comes to your mortgage rate lock, lenders are very how should I put it? They are very different when it comes to this one. Some lenders are going to charge you a fee to lock your mortgage, and the answer, the response you want to get when you ask this question is no. So basically, if a lender says they're going to charge you a fee to lock your mortgage, you probably want to go shop around, right? In my opinion, that's not what you don't want to pay fees for mortgage rate lock. Now, it's different when you extend beyond the period of the mortgage rate lock. So this pretty much means that, you know how the market fluctuates, right? The real estate market, the economy fluctuates. And when that happens, interest rates go up and down, because interest rates are not the same every single day. And just to be on the safe side, you may choose to, lock your rate. Basically, secure a particular interest rate or mortgage rate to make sure that you have it for the life of the paperwork, the period that it's going to take to close the deal. And what happens is the lenders are going to offer you this mortgage rate lock, and you want to make sure you get that without paying a fee for it. So these are the very key things that I wanted to quickly share with you, the 7 questions. And if this has helped you out, if you've gained some insight from this, I hope you have. If you've gained some knowledge from these 7 key questions, and now you feel super confident going in there pursuing a new home loan with the right lender, give this video a thumbs up and share this video with other people to help them get this information quicker. People deserve to know what will put them in a better financial shape. And also, if you feel like you've gained some insight from this channel or just from watching this video, check out other insightful videos on this channel. I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe. Thank you for watching and have a great day.